Alright, this lesson is all about solving absolute value inequalities. It's going to be very similar to solving absolute value equations. Only difference is our rules for inequalities. Just to highlight some different things. Notice here the inequality absolute value of x is less than 2 means that the distance between x and 0 is less than 2. So it's going to be possible values you can put in there are going to be all the way up to 2 but not including it, and then all the way to negative 2 are going to be your solutions when you end up graphing those two. There's kind of a simplified form there. The same thing if you switch it around, opposite sign, greater than, x is greater than. You have a little or problem here because you have certain things you can plug in there to make it bigger. Obviously, plugging 0 in there, is 0 greater than 2? No. Plugging 1, not going to work. Just normal solving. So let's kind of get into it. I got 2 examples for you to look at, and that's it this time. So the first example, we have absolute value of x plus 7 is less than or equal to 2. So just like before, whenever you're doing inequalities, you got to set up 2 separate problems, because if this could be, when you did equations, this could be 2, and it can also be negative 2, 2 possibilities. So we have the same exact thing here. So we're going to go ahead and write our 2 inequalities. We have the original, which you'll notice is over here to the right. Okay, this is the same as this one without the inequality signs. And then we also have our negative one. So we go from positive to negative, and whenever you switch to a negative, we got to make sure we flip the sign. And then from this point, just normal solving. In this case, we subtract 7 from both sides, so x is going to be greater than or equal to negative 9. And then the other one, do the same thing, subtract 7 from both sides. In this case, x is less than or equal to negative 5. All right. Then you go and graph those. Graph them there, closed circle. Anything between here and here will make sure that the answer is less than or equal to 2. Remember, inequalities must be always, when you get the equal, when you solve for inequality, they're always positive. They can be 0, but they can't be negative. And letter B, kind of like a B here up top, absolute value. When is absolute value ever less than 0? Well, if you'll notice, is absolute value ever less than 0? Answer is no. So this is no solution. I think you can't do that part. So that's the first one. I'll give you all some practice ones. I'll give you all some ones to try. Okay. Give these 3 a chance to try these 3, and then here's the answers if you want to pause it. All right, here are your answers there. Get an idea. I got one other example for you to look at today. Same idea. Okay, same solving. Some of those might be a little small. Might have to make your screen a little bigger. C minus 1, absolute value of that is greater than or equal to 5. When is it? Normal solving, set up 2 inequalities. Notice you have the original, whatever's there, keep the original, and then make the non-absolute value side negative and flip the sign. Go and solve them just like you normally do. And we're getting an answer here. You can go and graph it. This is an OR example. Letter B. All this is saying is if you look at the absolute value here, when is it greater than negative 2? Well, by definition, all absolute values are positive, so it doesn't matter what you put in here. It's always going to be here, so it'll be all real numbers. Letter C is going to require you to do some simplifying first, because your goal before you can start breaking it down, you have to get the absolute value by itself. So we're going to have to go over here. We're going to subtract 1 from both sides, get 20, and then we're going to divide both sides by 4 next, because since that's multiplication, we got to divide by 4. That's actually the distributive property, but we can't do it yet. We have to get the absolute value by itself. And we get an answer. Now we can break it up. Now that the absolute value is by itself, now we break it up into 2 separate problems and go and solve each one of these. Go from there. All right. And then here's some last 3 examples to get you a chance to give them a try. Go ahead and pause your screen now. Give those 3 a try. All right, there's your answers there. All right, hopefully that helps. I'll see you in class.